Kafla here, and I'm here with Kerry Burkheimer, a good friend of mine and rod builder and designer. He's been designing rods for, you said, over 30 years?
Yeah, about 30 years now. Yeah.
Excellent. And we're in his shop here in Washougal, Washington, and Kerry's going to talk to us about how rods are designed, some of his philosophy and how things go into designing graphite rods, and show us the materials and process that it goes through. So I'm going to get out of the way and sort of let Kerry take over and talk about this.
Sure. There's really a major difference between a good casting rod and a good fishing rod, and one that does both. And that's kind of the goal that we really try to do here at the rod shop. I design the rods. Yes, I use a calculator and a pencil and a piece of paper and all that, but the heart and soul of it really comes from an intuitive kind of sense of what materials they use. We use up to 5 and 6 different types of materials here, or we have it available here in the shop. The real nucleus or core of the rod is the mandrel, and it's the internal part where it develops the internal taper of the rod. We wrap the material around the mandrel, then the material has a resin in it. It gets cured in an oven, then that mandrel gets extracted out. Now once the resin cures, the carbon fiber, or whatever material you're making the rod out of, glass or whatever, becomes quite hard and strong and very flexible because of the type of the resin. We're at the tacking table here, and what tacking is where we take the graphite material, and you can see that it's all cut into a sheet in a pattern. There's a paper liner on the back that gets removed. This then gets adhered or ironed onto a mandrel. Then as it rolls, it increases diameter. This table's designed to adapt towards that changing diameter. So I guess we're ready for you to roll. Mylar, or clear tape, that's actually going to be wrapped around. It's going to be about 12 to 14 inches, or 12 or 14 wraps per inch, and it's going to, this headstock is going to move down the length of the part. Set our tension, it's ready to go. And that part has been cellophane. So we have a large rack that gets put in here. This is hung on it. We heat the oven up to 185 degrees. That allows that resin in this cloth to start to kind of liquefy, spread around. Our tape reduces ever so slightly in diameter, so it's squeezing the part even more. And then the resin will actually ramp up from 185 to 250, 275, hold it there for about an hour and a half, then ramp down, and then we'll actually pull the part off. This is Chris, and he's coating the thread wraps on the rods. All the wraps get hand wrapped, of course, and then coated by hand. And we like to see a very thin profile on the guides. Ryan here is gluing up one of our cork grips, and what we do here is every individual cork gets drilled out and then glued or adhered onto the blank, and it's a very slow, tedious process. The finished product right here. This would be a spey rod, of course. In this particular rod, we've done everything. We built the blank, we've glued and shaped the handle. We actually took raw materials and turned down the wood and then had the wood finished. All the machined parts, metal parts, we don't do that here, but we have a small manufacturer that actually makes all of these for us to our specifications. So when you're buying one of our rods, this rod has been put together with a lot of love, a lot of attention to detail, from the design right through the finished product.